Hello and welcome to the Grand Sports Arena for Chicago Mustangs soccer action as they play the Muskegon Risers in an MASL 2 matchup on this, I guess, cold, you would say, December day here in Chicago. The Mustangs coming back home after a nice win last week, led by Jesus Flores back in net tonight as he was not in the game last week. Negro Sandoval, he's one that everyone remembers from last year. Ephraim Beard and Alexis Camarena leading the team back on the field for your Mustangs this year. Back here also at the Grand Sports Arena, as I mentioned in the beginning of this broadcast, the Mustangs have some big news coming up in this week, so stay tuned for that. It's a rebuilding year, definitely, for the Chicago Mustangs coming back to the Grand Sports Arena, but there are big plans ahead of this team. There are a lot of new faces here in Chicago for the Mustangs, not the same team that fans have become accustomed to, which is a part of the rebuilding system that they have. You'll see a lot of new players out there for the Mustangs. As I was looking through the roster today, you'll get a glimpse at Eric Rodriguez is one guy that you're going to look for as a huge part of this team. Jesus Resendez as the backup goalie, as a lot of teams saw him play last week in the game against Cincinnati, and he played very well from what I've been told from a lot of players on the Mustangs and a lot of front office folks here of the Mustangs. We're waiting on the teams to arrive on the field and the anthems to be played. A good crowd tonight on hand inside the Grand Sports Arena. A lot of fans are anxious to see what this rebuilding team has to offer, as the Mustangs are now in the MASL 2. MASL 2 and MASL finally branching out, doing something a little different here, bringing in two leagues, which is very interesting, and it's going to bring a lot of competition inside of this league, I feel. 847-805-6644. So Muskegon Risers coming in here. This is a newer team that a lot of indoor soccer fans are not familiar with. They were established in 2014, and this is the first time we're going to get a look at the Muskegon Risers as they're in here playing the Mustangs. It's probably going to be a little difficult for Muskegon to come in here and probably pull up this upset, knowing that the Mustangs have a couple veteran guys still on their team. As I said, Jesus Flores is a staple of this team. He's been around since day one. Ephraim Beard is a newer guy, but has been around this organization, knows what's going on with this team, and he's excited to be a part of this rebuild to see where this team can go. You look at Alexis Camarena in a rebuilding system for Alexis Camarena. This is good for him because he's going to get a lot more time on the field. Coach Armando Gamboa will give him a lot of time. I'm anticipating saying his name a lot tonight. As you saw last year, in the beginning of the year, he started out hot, got a little cold in the middle of the year, and then got hot again at the end of the year for the Mustangs. So a lot of things to be pretty happy about, and obviously the big name that was brought in last year was Negro Sandoval. Everyone knows him if you pay attention to at least Mexican soccer. He was a huge star down there, played for the national team a couple of games, so he's back. He's faster and stronger than ever from what I've been told from the front office, so we'll see what he has to bring out tonight. I also think that seeing him tonight is going to be a big part of this rebuild in this organization and the fun soccer that the Chicago Mustangs bring to the table. So as I sit here next to the locker rooms here in the Grand Sports Arena, I hear the Uno, Dos, Tres Mustangs chant, and they're ready to go. The boys are coming out, and they're pumped up for a win tonight in the Reds tonight. And the Muskegon Risers are coming out in the black and lime green or neon green uniforms tonight, looking kind of like the Seattle Sounders coming out there. Muskegon, I feel like they're going to be in for a rude awakening tonight, playing a team that in the Mustangs, although rebuilding, have a good nucleus around them and stars that have been proven in MASL. So they better have the speed. I saw them warming up, and they look like they're a good ball control team. They should be pretty good with that. But I didn't get to really get a sense of their speed running up and down the field. The Mustangs truly have a home field advantage here in the Grand Sports Arena. The field is a little bit shorter than regulation size, and they really know how to play it here because the boards also, they're a little lower than other teams' boards and dashers in the league. And the Mustangs practice here all the time, and Coach Armando Gamboa has these guys ready to go. They won the PASL championship playing most of their games inside of this arena. The players are starting to get called out with Jesus Flores, the leader, the captain of your Chicago Mustangs. I couldn't think of anyone better to lead this team during the rebuild phase. It's good to see indoor soccer going back strong here in the Chicagoland area. As you see these guys walk out, and you see the smile on their face here like they're ready to go. It's good to see. It's refreshing to see. And the young guys on this team, this is going to be good. This is going to be fun. So I'm glad that we have the audience out there on YouTube checking in on Ollin Technology Media here with us inside the Grand Sports Arena. As you see the Mustangs going out to the field, we'll be bringing this up a lot tonight as a common theme. We don't want to break the story tonight. We kind of want to keep you on the edge of your seat. But the Mustangs are going to have a big press conference coming up this week with a lot of very, very interesting information that you're going to want to be into. So follow the Mustangs on Twitter, on Facebook. We're going to take a second here to listen to the national anthems, and we will be right back. For soccer inside the Grand Sports Arena. Chicago Mustangs versus the Muskegon Risers. In a little bit, we will have my partner in crime do a little bit of Spanish announcing. Norman White back for another year in the broadcast booth, and he's actually doing a little bit of the PA tonight as well for the Mustangs, which is a new venture for him, but he's doing a great job. The Risers are already out on the field, ready to go. they got to be pumped up. I mean, not too far along this road here, the Mustangs were PASL champions. And Coach Gamboa, when you go against the Chicago Mustangs team, I don't care who's in the uniform and playing for the Mustangs, when you have a coach like Coach Armando Gamboa on your side, he's as one of my former play-by-play colleagues said, he's the riverboat gambler, Armando Gamboa. And more often than not, his gambles pay off. So let's see what he can drum up tonight for the Mustangs. Definitely a lot younger Mustang team coming off of the field here that I've been looking at. Really different to see that. A lot of veteran presence before on this team, but now the young guys are ready to step in and show Coach Gamboa and the Mustang fans what they can do. It's game time, and Ephraim Beard getting a quick touch and playing it up the field for the Mustangs. There's a shot that misses far post, and that was Negro Sandoval already getting involved in the game. Sandoval also wearing an armband this year as a captain, plays it downfield. There's a shot and a goal by Ephraim Beard. Goal, Mustangs. That is definitely vintage Coach Armando Gamboa, having his defenseman rally down the near side and be right near the goal and get a goal within 5 feet from the goalie. And that's a quick early goal. I mean, that was so fast. We're less than 30 seconds into this game, and the Mustangs have already scored. Muskegon, they got to weather this storm. They are not fast enough to handle this Mustang offense, and that's already been told. They lost the defender that came from all the way on the back end, all the way to a forward position, and just like that, it's 1-0 Mustangs. And this new look Mustangs, they got me going crazy already. That's DJ Albert, one of the new guys here on the back end for the Mustangs, who has the splint on one of his fingers there. He's getting early minutes. Jesus Flores, that's something that we've been accustomed to seeing from Jesus Flores, is having the ball at his feet. Last year, I think he'd be the first one to tell you that he got in trouble sometimes playing the ball at his feet. But he's ready to prove that he is the best ball-keeping goalie in the league. Whether it's MASL or MASL2, he's proving that he's coming back to his MVP form. A lot more movement too from the Mustangs that we've seen early in this game. Last year on the bigger field, I saw the Mustangs kind of be static, not doing a lot of ball, just staying on the ball, not moving off the ball. But this year, we've seen a lot of movement, as evidenced from Ephraim Beard's first goal. Abira now getting tackled, and we have a handball, it looks like. Yes, handball, and it's going towards the Mustangs. Now that we have a quick stoppage in play before we have a restart, let's bring in Norman. Norman, how have you been? It's been a long time since I talked to you.
So, how are you today? I'm very happy to be here sitting next to you, enjoying another Chicago Mustangs game.
It's great. I know that last year when you were helping out and jumping in between Spanish and English broadcast, you know, you and I were just doing English, but this year I want everyone, whether you speak Spanish, English, or whatever language you speak, I want them to hear you in Spanish because that's your forte.
Definitely. I'm going to be jumping back from Spanish to English. Obviamente estamos con un buen arranque del equipo de los Mustangs. Vamos ganando 1-0. El primer gol fue por Ephraim Beard y obviamente el que armó esa jugada fue el Negro Sandoval.
The quick restart here now for the Mustangs. Abira is going to be the one that's going to start it up. And we have a late line change here off a restart. The refs are letting Muskegon get their personnel that they want back on the field.
Yeah, it seems like they're switching a lot of guys in. They're coming, a lot of guys came out.
I think the confusion, Norman, is that you can't do a line change off that handball, so they're trying to get the players that were on the field back on, almost like an icing in hockey, where you can't make that line change, and if you do, the original players have to be on the field. But Muskegon is already rested up, so that advantage is now gone for the Mustangs.
Exactly. We saw a lot of action on the sidelines here by Jesus Flores, and Gamboa was talking a little bit to the refs.
Ball is down low. It's kind of hard to get a good view of who had possession. Here comes Rodriguez, takes a shot, an easy stop for Jesus Flores. Norman, how about we give a little Spanish play-by-play here for the fans?
Sí, aquí vamos a arrancar otra vez. Balón a Flores. Están viendo a ver a dónde la pasa. Lo importante aquí es siempre tratar de mover el balón hacia adelante. Y obviamente estaban buscando a Ephraim Beer, que fue el autor del primer gol aquí en el Chicago Mustangs. Aquí el que tiene la pelota en este momento se la pasan a Beer, que la va a sacar. Se la pasa al negro Sandoval, que es uno de los que arma jugadas aquí con el Chicago Mustangs. Están toreando estos muchachos, los están toreando, pero están manejando el balón bastante bien. Nuevamente al negro Sandoval, el negro la enseña, la esconde, la enseña, la pasa al costado izquierdo, ahí se la están pasando, and they're all really moving the ball very well today.
Yeah, this is something that I was saying earlier in the broadcast, Norman. I don't know if you picked it up or heard it, but last year in the Sears Center on that bigger field, it seemed at times the Mustangs were static. Not a lot of movement, even off the ball, and once they made a pass, no one went to open space. Now we see a lot more activity on this smaller field, truly bringing out that home field advantage. Negro giving it off, and there's a shot by Barocho, and he gets it in the back of the net for a 2-0 lead. Baroche, that's another youngster coming in on that forward position, and you can already see the great chemistry between Negro and Baroche.
And again, Negro's out there getting all those plays together, and he's got his first goal of the night tonight, and he did very well yesterday. And if the play that's being done right now is indicative of how the rest of the game's going to go, we got a good game going.
Mustangs now counterattack, and there's a tackle right there that brings down, I believe that's Ibarra down there for the Mustangs. Centeno now playing a little give-and-go game. He has an opportunity to get that. That's something we want to see, a shot off there on the near side. He had an opportunity, Centeno did, to get a shot off, but instead looked for the pass down the middle. Can't be passive on those. You got to take the shot and hope that if you don't even score a goal there, you're getting a rebound, and the player that's in the middle of the field will get a nice, easy rebound goal. Muskegon has not really had possession, Norman. They've been scrambling all game, and here's a nice play by Camarena. There's a race, and that's one of the easier goals Alexis Camarena's going to ever score, as Tim Bregsma made a huge mistake, and this is turning into a snowball that might turn into an avalanche that cannot be stopped. The Mustangs and Coach Armando Gamboa have to be happy about this. Norman, I brought it up in the opening. We've seen this Mustangs team play in the PASL. We've seen them play in the MASL. Now they're in the MASL too. A team like Muskegon, there's not much of a chance when you're playing this type of team and well coached and having the core of guys like Alexis Camarena. And before we get to that, let's get to this action now that we have the ball dumped down. But it's hard for a team like Muskegon to think that they're going to really put up a huge performance against a team like this Mustangs team.
Definitely. I think this team, the visiting team, has been really surprised. They would have never imagined that they'd be 3 goals down in this first period. And obviously, the Mustangs are dominating the game right now. They're playing great defense. They're moving the ball around very well. Están pasando la ola excelente. Están ganando 3-0 y yo sé que Muskegon nunca se imaginaba que iban a estar perdiendo 3-0 en este primer periodo del equipo. Así es que este es un nuevo Chicago Mustang. This is a new Chicago Mustangs. They're completely inspired, and like I said, if this is indicative of how they're going to be playing, they're going to have a very good season ahead of them.
You could just see the practice that these players have put in, the Mustangs, and I think Coach Armando Gamboa would be the first to tell you that I don't know if complacent is the right word. Let's get to this action real quick, though, as Negro passes off to Ibarra, and Ibarra takes a shot and a good save, as Bregsma will need a little confidence, and that should give him a little bit of confidence right there. Gonzalez passing it across to Negro. Negro took a shot that was saved, and then Ibarra taking a shot that gets into the net. But like I was saying, I think Coach Armando Gamboa, and I don't want to use the word complacent because I don't know if that's the right word, but you could see at times that they weren't prepared as they usually were. And Coach Gamboa is that guy, and here's a chance for the Risers that they had an opportunity to get something going. But Mustangs, once again, all over it. But Coach Gamboa would even tell you that, being the head coach, that some of that came on him, and he felt it. You know, after talking to him after games, how personal he would take these losses, and you could tell that he's getting out his anger right now because this team is ready and they're sharp.
And they're playing very tough defense. They're moving the ball very well. And like I said, we have a new personnel, and everybody's inspired. I mean, they really haven't gotten a decent shot.
And here's a bad line change by the Risers, giving Camarena a shot, and a good save by Bregsma. Coach Gamboa and the bench looking for a handball, but it looked like it hit Bregsma in the face.
Yeah, I think
Bregsma's now starting to get a little confidence here. Yeah, Schmidt gets taken down into the boards. Is there a whistle? No. Play continues.
He got hit in the face, but he seems to have shaken it off. Anybody who's ever played a little soccer knows how that feels. But he's still on the field, and you know, we're still playing.
Rodriguez playing to Martins. Martins getting his first touches in the game. Bregsma now with the ball at his feet. Makes a nicer pass than he did last time after Camarena. Martins passing it off to Rodriguez. Rodriguez with the shot with the right foot. He was not confident in the left there for some reason. Not a good shot to take on a toe poke with your right foot coming down the left side. You're looking for a left-footed shot there, Norman. Jesus Flores with a nice save. But that shot does not bother Jesus Flores. He'll take shots from the outside that are that weak. This is one of the best goalies in either league right now, and you're going to have to do much, much better. But credit the Mustangs defense there for not letting the Risers offense penetrate that deep.
Oh yeah, they have to protect that goal. Like you said earlier today, Flores is one of the veterans. He's one of the leaders of this team, and people look up to him. So he's doing a very good job, and he hasn't had too many difficult balls to deal with up to this point.
There's two Iberas on this team, Ryan and Pierre. So we'll be sure to tell you who's who when they're on the field. When they're on the field together, at least. Rodriguez playing it in the far corner, trying to find Martins. Beard and Martins going after it. That's not a and we got a foul here on Calabrese as he took Negro Sandoval down.
And this is last Saturday's game with the same thing. They were really very physical, and they were really hitting Negro Sandoval, but he was able to recover and he was able to make plays.
Well, you know, Norman, what I like to do at the beginning of every year is give a little public service announcement that this is indoor soccer. We want to see a physical game. That's what we come here to see. It's not like the indoor game. You can get away with a little bit more. Not saying that you're going to do a full body check or a hip check on a guy here in indoor soccer, but don't be shocked to see a guy go in hard on the boards. and not see a call like we did just then with Calabrese. Well, actually, the Ephraim Beard foul there, or the non-call, was the physical play. Calabrese did get called for the foul. As we have a moment in time, we maybe Norman. Oh well, Norman's got to give an announcement in Spanish here for us, but there is a huge announcement for the Mustangs and Ollin Technology Media that's coming up or later this upcoming, well, I guess this upcoming week, not later, this upcoming week, since tomorrow starts a new week. But there is big news coming out. Please be sure to follow any of the social media accounts of the Mustangs to see what that announcement will be. For all of our Spanish listeners, we're going to have Norman also tell you what to look for. So far tonight, the refs, everyone knows that I always talk about the refs, and that's a point of topic for me. But for tonight, so far so good. I think they've done a pretty solid job in getting this game going and letting the guys play. That's one thing that I've always thought is something indoor soccer needs, is just let the guys play. Now, if someone's really taking a shot at a guy, of course, like I said, you call it. But let the guys be physical. Let them play a little bit. That's what we come here to see. That's why we're not watching a game outside, right? Well, it's December, the middle of December, but that's another reason why we're not watching it outside soccer, because we want to see that physical brand of soccer that you get in the indoor game. The restart for the Mustangs with 6 minutes to go in the first, and it's 3-0. Mustangs fully in control of this game. Muskegon have had a few shots on net, but I don't think that's something they'd even be proud of so far. Now that's something we got to worry about as a Mustangs fan. Jesus Flores turning the ball over in spots of the field where it could be very dangerous. We've already seen Tim Brexima of Muskegon make a huge mistake, and now here's a little effort, a little push by the Risers to get possession. But look at Negro Sandoval giving it to Ephraim Beard. The turf monster takes down Dunsmore.
Negro Sandoval seems to have been inspired here. He knows how to play the indoor game. Remember when he started?
I think we're here as announcers. Obviously, we're Mustang announcers, so we're going to give you more of a Mustangs view off this restart, trying to find Sandoval. But Norman, I know you and I were a bit critical of Negro's game, thinking he was too accustomed to the outdoor game. But this year, completely different. He knows how to use the boards. He knows where his teammates are going to be. Here's a shot, and that was blocked. Gonzalez with that shot there for the Mustangs. And here's a 2-on-1, the best opportunity for Muskegon, and a shot that goes wide. They're not going to be happy with that. He should have probably passed it off to the middle to where Volmer was the man. And
Negro looking up, he's taking his time. And let me tell you, this Muskegon team is definitely, they're struggling a little bit to even get the ball up down the field.
They've had a little bit of a push here, but nothing that's too threatening to the Mustangs. It's so evident that the speed and the conditioning of the Mustangs have taken over this game. This is Rodriguez now, another youngster that we look to. Is a handball? No, kept the hand right next to the body, so no call. But the danger is still in the Muskegon zone, and there's a nice pass off the boards to Rodriguez, and he scores. 4-0 Mustangs with 4:02 to go. Rodriguez in the right spot at the right time. That goes back to my point earlier in the game where I believe it was Sandoval that had a shot here on the near side to go to goal. Instead, he went to center it, and the Mustangs ended up not getting the shot on goal. Now we get a nice little play off the boards. The ball bounces right into the center of the field, and Rodriguez getting a goal. Eric Rodriguez, a guy that Coach Gamboa is putting a lot of faith into this year. Obviously, in a rebuilding year, you're going to see a lot of new faces out there, getting a chance to show the coaching staff in the front office what they can do for the Mustangs. Here's a good opportunity for the Risers. Looks like that's Rodriguez there, far side. Rodriguez trying to do a little dance. What can he do here? Good defense by Centeno. There's a foul right there as Centeno got whistled. Here's a shot by, I believe that's Bell there. Excuse me, that's Beal with the shot that gets blocked.
Great defense by the Mustangs. They're really making it tough on Muskegon to even mount an attack at this point.
Here's a shot by Collins looking for a deflection, almost like a hockey play there. Norman trying to just get a dirty goal somehow, some way, get the ball to the net. Hopefully it hits a couple bodies. But once again, great defense by the Mustangs, filtering the ball to the outside in their own end, keeping the dangerous part of the field, which is the middle part of the field, obviously, away from Muskegon. Great job by the Mustangs this year already.
Mustangs are doing a great job. Están dominando completamente el balón. Están usando bastante el arquero. El arquero está distribuyendo las pelotas como deben ser distribuidas, empujándolas para arriba, buscando los espacios abiertos. Aquí los Mustangs se la están viendo bastante fácil dominar ese balón. Ahora a Muskegon se le está haciendo bastante difícil jugar al nivel que están jugando los Mustangs ahora. Como pasan el balón, pase largo hacia el costado derecho, contra la pared. Ahí está el negro Sandoval, es empujado, pero no hay pito. Muskegon al ataque, disparan. Fácil para Jesús. El hombre araña. Ahí está Ephraim Beard, uno de los anotadores del primer gol de los Chicago Mustangs. Aquí están reemplazando personal. Entra en este momento el número 13 para el Chicago Mustangs.
Oh, there's an opportunity. Sorry to interrupt, Norman, but I don't know what you were saying, actually. I was going to say I know what you were saying, but I had to interrupt. But I'm going to be honest,
it's
I didn't. So, but I know you'd feel the same way if I did it in Serbian, so no hard feelings.
You got it. You just, if you need to talk, you talk. We're a team here. We're on the same team. Let's just put it that way.
Exactly.
But let me tell you, the Mustangs just making it very difficult for Muskegon here to mount an attack.
Well, the communication breaking down there for the Mustangs, it almost gave Jesus Flores a heart attack. Now turning up the field are the Mustangs. Gonzalez out there wearing number 22 for the Mustangs tonight. As he tries to find Ephraim Beard, jumping up in the play again. Beard with the left-footed shot, just got his toe on it. Misses near side, a shot by Gonzalez. And it misses far side, just hit the post.
Looks like Gonzalez is looking for a second goal tonight. Got a taste of that. Gonzalez con un cañonazo que no.
Look at Camarena out there doing what he does best, trying to, come from behind with his speed and just bug the opponents as they come up the field, Norman. There's a lot of new faces on this team, but this is bringing us back to that old Mustangs team that we've seen in the past, the PASL champs coming out here. That flavor, I see that coming out there of this team. It's unbelievable. The excitement that I feel right now for this team is unbelievable. And just here you go again as they make their way down the field. And now we got Camarena taking a foul. But one thing I wanted to say, Norman, while we have the chance, in Spanish, I know Enrique, the head of Ollin Technology, had a big announcement. So for the Spanish speakers out there, you might want to tell them that there's something on the way coming later on this week to stay tuned for.
Sí, por favor, presten atención que va a haber unos cambios increíbles aquí con los Chicago Mustangs y creo que toda la fanaticada va a estar bastante contenta de escuchar las nuevas noticias del nuevo Chicago Mustang y eso seguro va a ser para la semana entrante. All yours.
Here's Gonzalez taking a shot as the clock winds down. And that's the end of the first quarter here. Your Mustangs are leading the Muskegon Risers 4-0. A great start to this game for the Mustangs, no question about it. I know the fans are happy with the effort, the broadcasters are definitely happy with the effort, and the players are definitely happy with the effort tonight in the Grand Sports Arena. We'd like to thank everyone that's watching us tonight here on YouTube, wherever you may be. We appreciate the views, the likes, the follows, whatever you can bring the Mustangs' way. We appreciate it greatly. And I know they do too. The players, the front office, the coaches, they all love it too.
And follow us on Twitter. Our social media, you can see photos, behind the scenes action.
As we have a break in the action, we want to just jump on what Norman was saying in Spanish. There's a huge announcement. We're going to be pubbing it all night because it's huge. We don't want to break it tonight. We don't want to break this story because we want the story to be about this game, the Chicago Mustangs versus the Muskegon Risers. But let me tell you, I was listening to the front office talk today about future plans, we'll say, for this team in this rebuilding year. They said that, yes, this is definitely a rebuilding year for the Mustangs. Wins are great, but laying a foundation for the future is the most important part for this year and going forward. They want to go back to that PASL championship caliber team that they were. It was not too long ago, but they knew what direction and what lane they wanted to choose. You take a look at the Chicago Bulls, you take a look at the Chicago White Sox, you take a look at the Chicago Cubs just not too long ago, and they were all they're all in a rebuild. I'm just bringing up these rebuilds that the city of Chicago are going through right now and have gone through with the Cubs, but now most recently with the White Sox, with the Bulls. The city will embrace a rebuild knowing that there's going to be championships to come in the future, and this Mustangs team is so far ahead already from what we've seen compared to the teams in the competition inside the Grand Sports Arena so far, that this is something to be optimistic about. Still come to the game, still support the team, because it's only going to get much, much better.
It's going to get much better, and there's
and bigger too. I'm sorry.
Oh yes, and we can't let the cat out of the bag yet, but there's going to be a big announcement coming up. Chicago's a big sports town, and you know, we got our Chicago Mustangs here. They're doing fantastic. We have great talent. And, you know, they're playing great. They're playing great. This is their third game of the season, second home game.
The second quarter begins, and this is a big quarter for Muskegon. They do not want to give up another 4 goals here. Muskegon has to find a way to get a goal here, and one way I would do it is I'd honestly keep bringing pressure up here, because you know you're going to get caught with speed either way. So I would try to make the Mustangs make a mistake, put someone right up in their face. That's where we've seen the Mustangs have trouble in the past, Norman, is when a team gets right up on them, giving them no space to make the play. They've made mistakes with that type of defense. Muskegon's giving them too much time and space. We have a foul here. Will there be a blue card? We have not had a blue card tonight yet. And we finally see our first blue card. And wow, Muskegon is not happy at all with that call. It looks like we had a little bit of a chop right there.
Down for the Muskegon Risers.
Wow, Muskegon they're hot right now. Their coach, Ben Ritzmer, is in the we're right behind the benches here, folks. We are right behind the benches, so we hear everything and we see every emotion from players and coaches. That's something we couldn't get at the Sears Center, but coach is not happy.
Yeah, the coach is not happy. He's talking to the referee right here. Obviously, he's not accepting what just happened. But Calabrese is in the box right now. You know, not happy. Play is going to resume.
I think Coach Racima is realizing that if the Mustangs score here on this power play, it's the 5 goals is going to be too much to come from. I think in his own heart of hearts, he thinks 4 is still a lot, but he can't let this 5th one go in. And I think that's where the frustration is boiling over for him right now.
And it doesn't seem like the Mustangs are slowing down at all. They continue attacking. They continue moving the ball from left to right. And you know who the playmaker is on this Mustang team right now? Is El Negro Sandoval. He's the one that's opening up the spaces for the rest of his teammates. And they're just being calculating right now. They're not rushing anything. They're passing to the sides, just waiting for that opening.
And there is Eric. I was just about to say, Norman, that Eric Rodriguez was in the middle of the field right there where he scored his last goal, and he was just hawking, just with hawk eyes, looking at that ball, waiting for a slight opportunity for one of his teammates to get him the ball. They finally did, and an easy chip shot for Rodriguez, and he has 2 early on in this, which is still early in this game and early on in this quarter here. That, you know, I'm just looking right down to the bench here, Norman, and you know what? At this point, Muskegon is telling themselves, they're trying to pick themselves up, but at this point in the game, and I know you don't want to give up on a game, but you're trying to look for positives now, any type of positive that you can bring into the next game. And that's the hustle they need to see right there by number 22. That's
Martins.
Paris Martins right there. That's something they want to see. He has caught my eye, Paris Martins. If you're a Muskegon fan, you got to like what he's brought to the table. And Jude Rodriguez.
What we got going on for the half potential? What's that?
Jude Rodriguez, too, is another bright spot for Muskegon so far. Now the battle down low. It's Centeno and Martins. And Collins was the one that ends up winning that ball for the Risers. But look at the work down low by the Mustangs. Oh, and there's a shot by Albert that just goes far side. DJ Albert trying to take, you could kind of see he's trying to take a mold of an Ephraim Beard. Has the same type of body style, which is a good body style for indoor soccer. I kind of like those bigger guys, Norman, in indoor soccer that have that broad shoulders, almost look like an NFL tight end. Those are the guys that seem to succeed the most, and that's what something like DJ Albert could bring on the defensive end, is the strength. And there he is right now down low where I personally think he should be. Even though he's a defender, I'd like to see him make that way down there. And there's a shot and a good save by Tim Bregsma.
And he moves well with the ball and without the ball. When he doesn't have the ball, you see him hustling, you see him running, looking for that, and there he is.
And I don't mind that. I don't mind that right there. He's being rough. He's jumping up on the play. He's not letting the Muskegon Risers get in a rhythm. One thing is we see him here is DJ Albert is right by us. If he could just add up a little bit of muscle, he could be a beast in the indoor soccer game for sure. Now, Almeida there with a tackle. Looked like he got all ball, wasn't happy about it. The Risers are starting to feel like they've gotten squeezed on some of these calls. Jesus Flores now at midfield, something that we can see more often here on this smaller surface. We'll see him more by midfield, more than that yellow line is. He's playing it down to Ibarra. Ibarra takes a shot, and Bregsma with the nut, and there goes the ball. But Bregsma with a nice kick save and a beauty.
That was a dangerous shot by number 13. Pierre Ibarra took that shot. Y aquí estamos nuevamente.
And there's Martins right here. I'm sorry to interrupt, Norman, but I'll let you get back to the Spanish announcement. But Paris Martins, like I said, definitely a bright spot tonight for Muskegon. So, and one more thing, just so everyone knows, like I said, we are the home team here for the Chicago Mustangs, but this isn't new for us too, seeing these teams come in. It's not like watching the Comets where we know every guy's name. So you're going to have to bear with us a little bit when we're announcing the away team's players, because we're getting familiar with them now too as well. So just if you're in Muskegon, don't feel like we're only talking about the Mustangs because we want to talk about your team too, but we're just learning on the fly.
Jugada peligrosa a donde cayó Flores, pero no hay pito. Obviamente sigue la jugada, pero como estaba diciendo Nick, aquí se sale un pitazo aquí, no se sabe por qué. Una jugada peligrosa contra el arquero Flores. Still not sure what happened at this point.
Honestly,
but
I'm not sure what happened because it's so far behind the play. We have a yellow card, I think, Coach Ben Ritzma.
Is that a yellow card against
the coach? I think so. He's hot. He is heated right now. He is not happy one bit. Hey, Norman, well, yeah, he's got to be careful. He might get a red card. He's throwing things down there. He's heated, and you can see him right now on your screen. He's not happy.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout-out, though, to the men with the drums out over there, the cheering section. They're doing my favorite Spanish chant, Esta noche tenemos que ganar. I do know that much.
You're doing very well. You'll be speaking Spanish in no time.
Well, some of my Hispanic friends at work, I told them there's this one chant that I like. I just never know what they're saying. So they finally translated it for me. But I don't even remember the translation. I just like the words. It gets me going.
Well, let me tell you, if the Mustangs continue to play the way they're playing, you're going to know this chant very well, like the back of your hands.
Well, Norman, they could keep singing it all night. I don't mind it. I love listening to it. From the first time I heard it in Section 8 from a Fire game to now, it doesn't matter what venue I'm at. I can listen to Tenemos que Ganar all night long.
Looks like it's a Muskegon ball. I still don't know what the call was.
So the yellow card must have gone to a Mustang player. Not sure what the deal might have been there.
Aquí estamos con el balón detenido.
And
puede ser jugada peligrosa.
Going to be the guys here for Muskegon. That was a nice shot right there, just missing the net. So close. Go ahead, Norman. I feel bad. I keep interrupting.
It's
the
okay.
action's so good, though.
Fue un disparo al arco. Era una jugada peligrosa, pero resolvieron bien los Chicago Mustangs. Nuevamente los Chicago Mustangs a la ofensiva con el negro Sandoval como el capitán aquí. Pasa al lado izquierdo. Pasa adentro buscando el pase. El negro Sandoval. Efren Beard está al lado derecho solito, no lo marcan, te fija, la pasa al costado derecho, sigue, andan buscando esos jugadores, andan buscando ese espacio para poder disparar el balón, pero aquí los Mustangs no están aflojando, ahí solo, completamente se le escapó la pelota.
That's an opportunity there, Norman, that they got to get that ball on net. You can't be too cute, even though you're up 5-0. No goal on the field. A whistle. There was a whistle before that shot on goal.
Sí, hubo un pito antes de que el negro Sandoval tomara ese zapatazo al gol. Pero obviamente Chicago Mustangs completamente dominando el partido, negro al ataque. Ahí tiene hombres abiertos, todo el mundo se está colocando en sus respectivos lugares. Cruzan al costado izquierdo. Tira al arco, tira, no. Muestra la pelota. De nuevo al negro Sandoval. Él, que va a ser el negro, la muestra, la pasa a Beard. Beard, ¿qué hace? Alza la cabeza. Tira. Obviamente, tienen a contraataque de Muskegon. Ahora viene la defensa nuevamente. Buena defensa.
Here's a good opportunity for Muskegon right there. And Jesus Flores with a huge save. Negro now at the yellow line. Passing it down low. Oh, and it hits the inside of the crossbar. No goal. Rodriguez now with the ball at his feet. Ephraim Beard trying to keep the ball in the offensive zone. And here comes the pressure again by Los. Or Los or Loss. I'm going to go with Loss.
Yeah, great defense by the Mustangs at this point. They're not letting up on offense or on defense. You know, Muskegon has not been able to score one goal in this game, and they've had very, very little opportunities. And the Mustangs continue to apply pressure on this team. They're going to wear them down.
But we can't. A part of this rebuilding process, Norman, is the team cannot get too cute. They have to keep the execution at a high level. You can't just start acting all cute, doing these moves and just all these things because you're up 5-0. They need to keep putting that ball in the net, and I think that's what Coach Armando Gamboa is going to do in this timeout.
805-6644 for all your real estate and financial consulting needs.
In this timeout, we want to bring up the news that will be coming up this upcoming week for the Chicago Mustangs and Ollin Technology Media. We don't want to get too far into it. We want there to be a little bit of element of surprise, but you know, let your imagination go wild, whether you think it's going to be a new player coming in or someone, you know, big investments. You don't know. We don't even know. We were told that there is going to be a big announcement coming this week. I mean, my imagination has run wild already. I mean, it literally can be anything. As you've seen with the Chicago Mustangs, are not afraid to make a big splash in anything they do. They always go for it big. Just this year, they wanted to take that step back, reload, retool, and come back because they don't want to be just the team that competes every year just to get into the playoffs. They're a team that wants to compete for championships. And if you look at the Chicago Mustangs logo, you see a star on top of their logo. And we all know what that means. They are champions. They've been champions.
Aquí los Chicago Mustangs, volviéndose a reorganizar, están ganando 5-0 con 2 goles de Eric Rodríguez, uno de Alexis Camarena, el otro de Alonso Sandoval y uno de Ephraim Beard. Este equipo no está aflojando nada, la está viendo bastante dura los Muskegon Risers porque no han podido ni meter un gol en este momento. Y este equipo, los Chicago Mustangs, están jugando inspirados, saben cómo tocar el balón, saben cómo mover la pelota. Nuevamente para Flores. Es un juego bastante agresivo en este momento. No hay pito. Monta la ofensiva. La pasa. Otra vez. Estos chicos se mueven muy bien cuando no tienen el balón. Se abren, buscan los espacios abiertos. Aquí de nuevo se la pasan al arquero, a Jesús. Pase de atrás, Taquito. ¡Disparo!
Nice save by Tim Bergsma. You know, this quarter, we haven't seen a lot of great opportunities for the Mustangs that we've seen in the first. Muskegon trying to, I guess, they're packing it in, it looks like, trying to not let the Mustangs get to the center of the field. And here's a shot, and oh, what a great save by Tim Bergsma, as he just barely got his fingertips on that. Now Jesus Flores bringing it upfield. Finds, I believe this is Gonzalez here. To Negro. Negro to Gonzalez. We've seen them connect already for 1 goal earlier today. Gonzalez peeling it back, though, giving it to Berra. And Jesus Flores back with the ball at the yellow line, but here come the Mustangs again. Negro Sandoval at midfield. He crosses the yellow line, passes it. Oh, there's a... Oh, great save by Bergsma again. But a little slip by Broche, I'm sorry. I'm talking so fast. The excitement is so good that I sometimes fall short on these names. But it's because of the excitement. Now restart from the corner.
Dangerous here for Muskegon.
There's a nice pass in the middle of the field. Collins can't stop Gonzalez, and it's a goal for the Mustangs. 6-0 with 6:33 to go. And here we go. We have a scuffle now. We have a scuffle, and this is what we got going down as Calabrese is playing peacemaker. As Ryan Abera is the man that was getting a little bit of a scuffle. We got some guys here, Broche in front of us, Gonzalez in front of us, and who else is in front of us? Looks like Abera as well in front of us here, and Rodriguez, as Coach Gamboa is drawing some plays up for them right now. Looking for a handball, and there it is, it's called. You know, one thing we've seen, Norman, in a lot of our indoor soccer games is when the score starts going south for one team, they like to become very physical. And we've seen injuries happen because of teams taking cheap shots. So you really, if you're the Mustangs, just keep your nose clean. Don't have any reason, except for the scoreboard, obviously, but you want to see the scoreboard go higher and higher. But don't give the risers any reason to rise to a physical, pun intended, to a physical altercation here. Oh, and there's one part right there, and there's a blue card. And real quick, I got to say that pun was for Gene Principe, one of my favorite in-game analyzers back up in Canada. So that was for Gene.
Yeah, but like you said, we gotta try to keep although this is a physical game, we have to keep our physical game at a minimum because, like I said, we're just starting out the season, and if you come out playing this way, you know, there's always the risk of injury, and that's something that we don't want for any player.
No, exactly. We don't want to see that.
Aquí, balón detenido, el negro Sandoval. Bueno, Jesús la araña se la pasa al negro, el negro hacia arriba, la pasa al costado izquierdo, de vuelta al negro, buscando la jugada, buscando ese espacio. Balón a favor de Muskegon.
Well, we have a chance in the break of the play. We would like to thank everyone for watching tonight on YouTube, wherever you may be. There's been people from Canada tuning in. There's been people from Europe tuning in, from even Norway too, which is insane that we're getting fans from all over the world here. So everyone that's watching the game tonight from wherever you are, from, like I said, Canada, Norway, Mexico, wherever you're at, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate the view here with the Mustangs and Ollin Technology.
Yep, and don't forget to tune in next time because there's going to be a big announcement that's, you know, it's going to be a big deal for the Mustangs and for their fans, so tune in.
Rodriguez.
Don't miss out.
Oh!
Zapatazo. Desviado.
I believe that was that Gonzalez there on the far side? It was. Gonzalez, he's getting happy. You could tell he's getting the happy feet there. He's taking shots from all over the place.
Yeah, he's a small guy. He's got one goal, and I think he wants another one.
Here's Rodriguez. Oh, Rodriguez with a nice little volley right there. And a great save by Bergsma. Rodriguez.
Let's go Mustangs! Let's go!
The Let's Go Mustangs chant is loud and proud now in the crowd. Sandoval, Broche tried to get there, couldn't, and now a good opportunity for the risers. Here's the physical play that we're going to see here, no whistle. Oh, and Calabrese comes in, he uses his body nicely to win that ball. That's exactly what you want to see in an indoor soccer game. The way Calabrese just came in there and used his body to not really check. I mean, it wasn't a big check, but he just kind of did a little body check. So we have a whistle and a stoppage. I was just waiting for that timeout to announce the timeout. I just had a feeling, you know, in indoor soccer games, after you watched or have watched a ton of games, indoor soccer games, you just know the flow of the game and you know when a timeout's going to happen, and that was a perfect opportunity for a timeout. So I just got an announcement here of a schedule for the Mustangs. Be sure to come on out on January 6th here to the Grand Sports Arena as your Mustangs take on the Cincinnati Swerve. Cincinnati will be in town. Tickets start at only $8, so it's a great night out for family and friends. If you're looking for something to do and you're not doing anything on January 6th, which happens to be a Saturday night, come out to the Grand Sports Arena and support your professional indoor soccer team and come and watch some great MASL 2 action. Back off the timeout, Muskegon is ready to go. There's a shot that goes right into the wall. Matt Schmidt, who took that shot, just getting his anger out there pretty much, as he knew he wasn't going to beat that wall or shoot through that Mustang wall, but things haven't been going right for his team, so he's just trying something new. Here's Rodriguez again to Broche.
Nuevamente el Mustang al ataque. Disparo. Pero intervino el arquero. Continuó el ataque con el negro Sandoval. ¡Pase! ¡Gol! ¡Gol, gol, 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 gol! Chicago Mustangs.
A great pass by Negro Sandoval to Broche. And Broche, all he had to do was put his foot on that ball and it was going in no matter how close or far he was. He had a wide open net. And Negro Sandoval, I am going to tell you something right now, my friend. You have become you're becoming a star in the indoor game. You're already a star in the soccer world, especially the Mexican soccer world. But now we are seeing Negro Sandoval become that playmaker that Coach Gamboa brought him in to be. He feels more comfortable on the field. He looks more comfortable on the field. And the Mustangs are just trotting out there now. They have a huge lead. Now I want to see how they handle this lead. Will they try to get fancy out there, or will they keep going and playing that hard soccer that we want to see being played? I hope that we see that second option, because it's a rebuilding year. You want to see this team come out big, and that's a great save by Tim Bergsma again.
Nuevamente intervención de Tim Bergsma. Aquí este arquero de Muskegon ha estado bastante ocupado porque los Mustangs le están dando cañonazos desde que empezó. Aquí los Mustangs están completamente dominando el partido en la ofensiva y en la defensiva. Nuevamente pitazo en contra de los Mustangs. Ese balón lo va a tomar Nikas Capiacciotto del Muskegon. Ahora pone la barrera. Dos de los Mustangs hacia el costado izquierdo.
Collins now. Oh.
Se la roba.
Oh, jeez. That could have been very dangerous right there. That's something we do not see at all in the indoor game, is a full-out slide tackle you really can't do a full-out slide tackle. But Matt Schmidt, he's a big boy too, is Matt Schmidt, and he almost just took out the smaller Alexis Camarano.
Eso fue una jugada que pudo haber sido sumamente peligrosa, pero por dicha nadie salió lesionado. Pero los Mustangs continúan presionando la cabaña de Muskegon.
Centeno playing a little bit there with DJ Albert in the corner, and the Mustangs bring it out to midfield with Jesus Flores giving it to Albert. Albert, we haven't seen him on the field for a little bit of time now, but you know he's looking to make an impact. And excuse me, that was Volmer right there that was making the slides, that did the slide tackle.
Las cosas parece que se están poniendo un poco caliente en el campo de juego. Es importante que los árbitros mantengan a los jugadores calmados en este momento, pero parece que Muskegon está llegando a un punto de desesperación con un marcador que lo refleja 7-0 Mustangs. Balón detenido a favor de Muskegon. And obviously, Muskegon seems desperate at this point.
I mean, at this point, they really, let's be honest, Norman, the opportunities are slim to none for Muskegon. And this goes back to the point that I brought up just not too long ago. You can't really feel confident you're going to bring out the win. You know, I mean, I don't know how you go into halftime and how you get the confidence back for these guys. I really don't, honestly. But you got to play for the positives. If I'm their coach, I'm coming in the locker room, I'm saying, guys, we got to look for positives. We have to play a positive game from here on out. We might not score 6 goals, but if we come out of here scoring 3 goals, 4 goals, we can feel good about ourselves going into the next game. Right now, I haven't seen much for them to feel good about even taking into their next game.
Yeah, at this point, like I said, 7-0 is a very difficult deficit to overcome. They have to come out and just play for pride at this point.
Now we have the third official out here too.
Step onto the field during any Mustangs class, and you
this is. I know we're close to the action, but I would love to hear what this conversation is. Well, whatever it was, they're not satisfied with what they had to hear. The Risers. So I think the confusion is
a lot of discussion on the sidelines.
We're getting a lot of Coach Gamboa down here. He needs to be one of the refs too. He knew what was going on before the refs knew what was going on and what the Risers were going on. And Volmer was on the field, and Coach Gamboa goes, "Hey, let's get this game going. You're supposed to be off the field, and then you can come back on." I love Coach Gamboa. The guy puts a smile on my face all the time. He's a good guy.
And he's got a lot of passion for this team. Let me tell you, he looks very... Looks like there's a whistle en contra de Muskegon. Foul. Eso puede ser una jugada peligrosa, como está viendo la pelota los Mustangs hacia el costado derecho. Buscan espacio. Nuevamente se la pasan al hombre araña. 1 contra 1. Nuevamente foul ahí. Se les está saliendo la frustración.
Willie Guerrero getting a little dangerous there with the slide tackle there.
Exactamente, Guerrero están a little frustrated. You know, it's a tough deficit they're in. It's a tough position. and that's the one thing you don't want to do. But the Mustangs continue to dominate the game. One-on-one.
That's a nice one right there, Gonzalez.
Oh, he tried to lob that ball over the goalkeeper, but obviously it was a little bit too high. That was Tadeo Gonzalez looking for his second goal.
Collins. Oh, there's a foul right there. And this is going to be a restart.
Foul.
You know, what the Mustangs have also done last year where they got in trouble a lot on the defensive end was with these restarts, Norman. A lot of teams took advantage of the restarts and scored a lot of goals on the Mustangs. Tonight, time and space is non-existent for these teams, or for the Risers. And as I say that, why did I say it? I just jinxed it. There is a goal for the Muskegon Risers. Nick Capiscolto with the goal and brings Muskegon in, and there's a bright side right there for Muskegon getting a goal, 7-1. As a fan, if you're a fan of Muskegon, you had to like that, seeing that set piece set up so well and it worked so well. And as I said, the Mustangs aren't giving any time and space. They finally had that little opportunity to get the time and space, but here come the Mustangs again.
Here they come.
With Sandoval on the near side. Sandoval makes a move to the inside. He's going to give it to Ibarra. Ibarra back to Sandoval. Sandoval makes his presence known at the yellow line. Rodriguez higher than we've seen him tonight. Ibarra playing a give and go with Negro. And who, I didn't get the name there on the player for the Mustangs that got his foot on the ball there. Now Negro.
Jesus, el Negro Sandoval. No whistle.
And that's why I missed the name, is we get the transition with Rodriguez.
2v1.
Rodriguez to Negro, instead of trying to take a shot, try to get it to Ibarra. Ibarra down in the far corner. Has possession. Gives it to Beard. Oh, that's a dangerous play, and the whistle sounds. But that number 17 is Fernando Hernandez, another Mustang player that hasn't been out there too much tonight, but had an opportunity. And he's very young as he's coming off the field right now. He's one of the younger guys on this team, if not the youngest. Your Mustangs head into halftime with a 7-1 lead over the Muskegon Risers. Norman, that was, I know you got your announcement, so we'll recap the first half in a little bit with Norman. But the satisfaction for Coach Armando Gamboa has to be very high right now. And we have our halftime entertainment coming out. Some bright spots for the Mustangs and these are the names that I'm going to bring up, and you're going to hear a lot this year. You're going to hear a lot of these names. Is Eric Rodriguez. He's having a great game. Tedito, I believe, I'm going to say that's his name. That's as close I'm going to get. But Gonzalez having another great game tonight. He's another player that's looking really good for the Mustangs. Pierre Ibarra has had a couple good chances tonight as well. And DJ Albert is another guy that I've been looking to as a bright spot of the future for the Mustangs, as he hasn't had a lot of time out on the field, but he's looked very good. And I think Coach Gamboa would agree with us there. As for the regulars that we've seen on this team for a year or more, Ephraim Beard getting the first goal in a position, and he's actually in the middle of the halftime entertainment, but Ephraim Beard, what can I say about Ephraim? We know we've been accustomed to seeing what he can bring to the table for the Mustangs as he gets a early goal, that first goal, as he jumped up in the play. Great job by Ephraim Beard. Negro Sandoval, what can we say about Negro Sandoval? His game has leaped from a solid player to MVP caliber type player. And now we got a megaphone out there too, adding to the great cheering section that we have here tonight. it wouldn't be an indoor soccer game if we didn't give a shout out to Peter Graham, who is always here to help out. And we must say this is a volunteer effort by Peter Graham every year. Every year is a great effort by Peter Graham to come out here, and we like to thank Peter for that. Also, last week at the game, Dave Race's Captain Chaos. Everyone knows that I always bring up a shout out to Captain Chaos anytime there's an indoor soccer game. He was here last week. Wish he was here tonight so we could have a conversation about his Reno 1905, or I always forget the year that the team had, but it would have been nice to talk to him, and he'd bring you some great insight on the indoor game. But nonetheless, we like to say hi to him, and we don't have to give out a shout out to Reno tonight because he is in the Chicagoland area. It's always good to have Dave Race's DJ Captain Chaos back home. So hopefully he's watching this game on TV or on the computer or on his phone, wherever he might be. So your Mustangs are up 7-1 in this game against Muskegon Risers. Before we continue on with talking about the Chicago Mustangs, let's give the Muskegon Risers a little love tonight for a couple of their players who I've seen, and I think they have a great future in this indoor soccer game if they stick with it. The teams in the top divisions in the MASL are going to be scouting this guy. They're going to look for him. Is Paris Martins. Paris Martins has come out and he's been a very bright spot. Yes, he's made some mistakes out there, but that's a young one trying to find his grounds against a very good Chicago Mustangs team. He doesn't look out of place. He has the build to be he almost looks like a young Ian Bennett for the fans out there that remember Ian Bennett with his years, especially in Milwaukee. He has that Ian Bennett build. It looks like he has room to grow into that body, and that's going to be a dangerous thing if he does, because he's going to be a perennial goal scorer, just like we've seen Ian Bennett for many years. And you name the league, he's done it. And we're going to bring in now, actually, as I get tapped on the shoulder, this is kind of exciting for us. We weren't expecting anyone to come into the booth, but Enrique, who's coming on over here. Enrique, how you doing? I know you're the owner of Ollin Technology, and we've been really scratching the surface. We've been speculating here since we don't really know what the announcement's going to be. We've been thinking maybe a player, maybe an investment. We don't know. I know my job is to try to get it out of you now, but I think I'm going to be on the losing end of that one.
Well, Nick, first of all, let me give you again welcome to this broadcast. You have been part of the Mustangs since we were always at the Cedar Center in this arena.
Right.
So we miss you and you're back. So
thank you.
Always doing a great job. Now, on the question that you asked me, basically, all I can tell you is there's exciting news coming out of the Mustangs next week. I think there's something that the people are going to like. This organization has been working hard for soccer in Chicago, and it deserves a big push. A lot of people think that we going to MSL 2 is something of a bad thing, but it's not. I mean, really, what we're trying to do here is have a year to recuperate, a year to restructure, and then we're going to come back stronger than ever. So again, this broadcast is a proof that we're not abandoning the team. Ollin Technology, of course, is committed to the team and to do a great job for the Mustangs, for the community, and for soccer.
Well, I've been saying during the broadcast that this rebuild, this team was a championship team not too long ago, but this rebuild is coming at a perfect time because the city, and we know that whatever sport it may be, people come out and support Chicago sports. look at the Chicago Bulls are rebuilding, the Chicago White Sox, the Chicago Cubs were rebuilding, and look at how these teams are set up for the future. They're championship teams year in and year out, and this is what you guys here with Ollin Technology being part of the Mustangs right now and us being a part of it. We want to see that every year, and I think the Mustangs are showing that they want to be not just a playoff team, not just a good team, they want to be a championship team year in and year out.
Absolutely. Well, you have to recognize Armando Gamboa and his team have been doing a great job for over 5 years now in the Chicago area, and it's a well-deserved push that they need. I mean, like I say, Armando has been structuring always a competitive team. We've never been in the bottom of the barrel. We're always fighting for a playoff spot, and like you said, we were a championship. I remember those days where we won everything, you know, Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, everything. So here we are again, and again, it's a proof that the soccer is well and alive in Chicago. We're not abandoning, and again, recognition to Armando and his team, you know, because they have been keeping this alive, you know, with all the effort and all that represents.
Now, before we continue this interview in English, let's transition to a little bit of Spanish for our viewers out there that understand Spanish more than they would English. So tell them before we get too far into this interview what you've been saying so they can be in the loop.
Absolutamente, claro. Básicamente lo que decimos es que Ollin Technology está comprometida con los Chicago Mustangs. El trabajo que ha hecho Armando Gamboa y su equipo es excelente y se reconoce. Son 5 años de esfuerzo, de sudor, de dedicación para tener un equipo que siempre esté en los primeros lugares, y ahora cuando muchos piensan que los Chicago Mustangs van para abajo es todo lo contrario. Tienen un gran push, un gran empujón, y esto es la prueba de que el fútbol está vivito y coleando, como decimos los latinos, y que vamos a salir adelante con este equipo regresando el próximo año a los primeros puestos, y no solo eso, regresando a la Liga Mayor.
Now, like I said, I'm going to keep prying, and I know you're not going to give it all out, but let's bring it back to the community, the Chicagoland area. The Mustangs are a staple in the Chicagoland area. Now, one thing that a lot of people have come out and said is Chicago indoor soccer hasn't really been Chicago's indoor soccer. Does this announcement have anything to do with connecting the Chicagoland area to Chicago specifically at all? Can we get into any of that? Is that something that it could be out there?
Without giving you any specifics, you're right. I mean, Chicago deserves a team that is for Chicago, the entire area, not only the suburbs, not only the city. And that's something we're working with Armando. Like I said, Armando has been working on this since day one. It's something that what I can tell you is coming soon. It's coming soon. Chicago has a vast community of soccer fans from all over the area. Not only that, all over the nationalities. We have the Latinos, we have the Anglos, we have the Germans, we have the Europeans. So this is a time where we can actually bring Chicago the team that they deserve. Just like they did with the Fire. The Chicago Fire is an organization that one way or another brought the community together, and that's what the Mustangs are going to try to do.
Well, I think you guys have, with Ollin Technology Media, I've seen the videos you guys made, even going back last year and years before that, showing what the Mustangs organization does in the community. And they have given a lot in the community, whether it's going to schools or going to soccer camps, and watching the kids that come to these games more than ever before, and I think you've seen it too, as we sit together, is there's more of a connection with these players now than we've seen in years past with name any other Chicago indoor soccer team that other people haven't seen in those teams, but they see in this team. I think that these, especially all these young guys, they're in their 20s, so you can really relate to these guys.
Absolutely. What you said is completely true. And not only that, as you can see, there's a lot of things behind also the Mustangs, the mini Mustangs, the academy, the leagues, and that's what we're going to try to do. Bring the community together, bring the soccer community to enjoy this type of show, and we're going to bring a better and better everyday spectacle. So that's what we're going to do.
Well, one thing I want to do, because I know you have to get back to the broadcast, but I know we don't say it enough, and we should. Enrique is the man and his crew that make us do the easy part. We just have to show up. We have to announce the game. So I know Norman and I really appreciate what you do setting this all up so we can bring the game to everyone, and you and your crew definitely make this job easy for us, and we appreciate what you do.
I appreciate those words, but you are part of the crew, so thank you, Norman, and yeah, you're right. We're not only a team, we're a family, and we're trying to bring this with a better quality every single day. There's also some announcements on the broadcast for next year, and hopefully you'll be part of it, and we'll welcome you. And we're also, missing your dad, Nick, over here. So we're also
he has been checking in, so every time Norman is on the Spanish broadcast, he's looking for a score update. So sometimes I'm not on the field because he wants to know what's going on, but he can't wait to get back, and yeah, hopefully it's a great year. Hopefully it's great. Anything the last thing before you leave? Do you want to say anything to the Spanish viewers before you sign off?
Claro, obviamente que nos vengan a apoyar, que vengan a la arena. Tenemos 4 juegos más todavía en la temporada. Necesitamos su apoyo. Queremos que esto sea un equipo de la comunidad y vamos a tener un buen espectáculo para que todos estemos contentos. De nuevo, muchas gracias, Nick. Muchas gracias, Norman, y mucha suerte.
Thanks, Enrique. I know you got to get back and direct this broadcast. So we tried, Norman, as you were announcing this game. I did everything in my power to get Enrique to spill the beans about what this big announcement may be. Although I tried very hard, I came out on the losing end, and I don't usually come out at losing ends of the argument, but this time I couldn't do it, so I apologize, Norman.
It's okay. Enrique's a tough nut to crack.
He is.
And like I said, when he sets his mind to do something, he does it, and we'll all find out what it's all about pretty soon.
I don't know if I can wait till next week. I think we need it tonight.
I think we need it tonight, man.
I don't think I have any more fingernails. I've been biting them here. I think I'm just down to the skin of my fingertips here. I don't know what it could be. I don't know.
Well, whatever it is, it's going to be big, and it's going to be involving the Chicago Mustangs, and it's going to make a lot of people happy.
I hope so. I hope so, and I think that will be the case. Looking at this game tonight, Norman, and of course you're going to expect not as many people as the Sears Center. You know what I mean? But I don't think this crowd is definitely not a letdown either tonight. Look at this turnout tonight on a Saturday night at the Grand Sports Arena. We have a solid fan base coming out tonight to support this team, and that's a message that MASL 2 and the main MASL league should watch out, because if this big announcement is as big as they say it's going to be, wow. I think that's the best word to say, is just wow.
I think there's going to be a lot of people, they got their eyes open, they got their ears open. They're probably wondering what the big announcement's going to be, and this is a team to watch, and they proved it last week, and they're proving it right now.
Yeah, definitely.
We have a lot of new faces, a lot of talent, and let me tell you, this team has not let up since the start of the game, and they're doing a fantastic job. And like I said,
we might see some future Mustangs here in this halftime game, actually, as they're coming off the field. I know you got to announce that. The Mustangs are coming out of the locker room as we speak right now.
Thank you very much. Great game. I think we see some future Mustangs in that group.
Mustangs coming out, Muskegon coming out. The handshakes between the youngsters. I almost just kicked Coach Armando Gamboa, and I almost took his finger off. I apologize. Hey, Coach. Jesus told me to do it, so don't blame. He said he wanted me to kick you, so I'm sorry. Having a little fun with Coach Gamboa here inside the Grand Sports Arena. But and I had to think of the nicest, probably the nicest guy on the Mustangs roster, Jesus Flores, to say that he wanted me to kick Coach Armando Gamboa. That's completely false. I think everyone at home knows that Jesus Flores wouldn't hurt a fly, to be honest. The guy is so nice. He even took pictures with the kids coming off the field after their halftime game. That's how nice Jesus Flores is. He's in the middle of a competition, and he's taking pictures with the kids as they're coming off the field. That's the type of guy Jesus Flores is, and that's the type of building block the Mustangs are looking for. So as we wait for the second half to begin, there's Peter Graham in the yellow shirt and his, I don't even know, his Santa Claus bandana or whatever you call those things. He's wearing it tonight. I don't know if he lost the bet or what the case may be, but he's making his Christmas spirit be known. Speaking of Christmas, if you're looking to get anyone a Christmas gift this holiday season, get them a Mustang home game ticket. The Mustangs will be playing at home again on January 6th. Tickets only start at $8. Tickets are, I just believe, only $8. So you really cannot beat that price for a professional game in the city of Chicago. The Mustangs will be playing the Cincinnati Swerve inside the Grand Sports Arena. So once again, if you are looking for a Christmas gift for someone that loves sports, especially, a Mustang game is the right way to bring them out. Tickets $8. The game is Saturday, January 6th. Kickoff at 7 p.m. as the Mustangs take on the Cincinnati Swerve. If you have any questions, feel free to call 847-805-6633 to talk to a Mustangs representative about the January 6th game or any game after that, or any ticket plans and packages the Mustangs offer. If you want any other information about players and just to see the whole schedule, go to www.chicagomustingspro.com. Once again, that's www.chicagomustingspro.com for all your information about the Mustangs. Go to that website and you'll find anything you want. Let's take it a step further. If you're big into social media, the Chicago Mustangs are on Facebook as the Chicago Mustangs. On Twitter, you go to Mustang Soccer. If you do Instagram, you got Chicago Mustangs. If you have Instagram, they have We Are Mustangs. So they are really on everything, and even the YouTube page, the Chicago Mustangs Pro. So if you have time, real quick before the second half begins, give a like, give a follow to your Chicago Mustangs, and hey, buy a couple tickets to the game.
Let's make some noise.
Crowd is back in the seats. The drums are drumming. The drummers are drumming. The flags are flying, and the whistle blows. Vamonos Mustangs. That's pretty much all you're going to get out of me for the Spanish is Vamonos Mustangs, Norman. I don't think I can do too much more than that, but I think it's the effort that counts, right? So starting this off here is Volmer trying to shield off. It looks like Negro on the far side. No, excuse me, that's Gonzalez on the far side. Negro has the ball at his feet, giving it to Ibera on the front side, or the near side. Nice little step over. And a save by Negro. Baroche, they had a nice step over getting the ball to Negro there. Schmidt now on the near side with Ephraim Beard. Ephraim Beard sizing it up. There's a shot and a good save, an easy save by Jesus Flores. Shot taken by Zach Grantham. Negro Sandoval bringing the ball up past his own yellow line. For those watching tonight and seeing the Mustangs for the first time on your computer screen, phone, TV, wherever you're watching this game, and you say to yourself, this field looks kind of small. Indeed, it is a small field here. It's a true home field advantage for the Mustangs. A lot smaller than a lot of other teams in the league, and the Mustang speed is just tearing this field apart tonight. Muskegon can't keep up. There's a deflection right in front by, it looked like that was Ryan Abira.
Mustangs continúan tocando la puerta.
Negro.
Buscan el gol nuevamente. Negro Sandoval.
Camarena playing with Albert. Camarena takes a shot, misses wide, and now the counter attack for the Risers. Schmidt down the near side again, takes a shot, misses near side. They try to call a handball, but Beal kept it at his foot and shot got blocked away. Now the Mustangs with, that's Negro giving it to Albert. Line changes for both teams, and there is Paris Martins. I have been impressed with Paris Martins. He has been a very solid player out there for the Risers. That's someone that, you know, if I'm Coach Gamboa and I'm watching this game, I'm putting a little asterisk there next to Paris Martins, thinking in the future this could be a big part of this team. That's just my opinion. Jesus Flores down to Rodriguez. Rodriguez one-on-one with Calabrese. Calabrese gets Rodriguez to pass it off. Rodriguez has had a couple goals tonight for the Mustangs. There's a handball by Rodriguez.
Se le complicó un poco la cosa a
Francisco
Rodriguez.
Gonzalez also getting a couple more minutes here, number 22 for the Mustangs.
One of the things that I do notice is that Flores feels very comfortable coming out of the out in front and directing.
I wonder if it has to do with the small field though too, because because he can retreat back to the goal, unlike last year where he was having trouble getting back on that bigger field, and then a couple easy goals, lob goals that were going right over his head. So that has to be some type of factor, I believe.
Yes, he's coming out with a lot more confidence. You know, he's directing traffic also. Los Mustangs se ven bastante relajados, no se sienten presionados en este momento. Beard al extremo izquierdo se lanza. Ataque de Muskegon, detiene la pelota. Martins busca al jugador, extremo derecho, disparo. Tenemos a dos jugadores.
Jesus with the nice little save there. Mustangs with not too much pressure here in this half so far. They've had majority of possession, but nothing too threatening. Maybe one or two chances here with 10:30 to go. DJ Albert playing it down, and he goes in feet first. They're looking for a whistle, the Risers, and Bergsma is not happy about the slide tackle into the chest, that's for sure. Quick restart. Oh, and there's that was a huge push right there. That's definitely a call, but I don't know why he's grabbing his ankle, Norman. He got pushed in the back in the numbers.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe he wants the ref to pull out a card, but that wasn't, did not happen. Parece que el jugador número 10 está renqueando un poco, pero no fue nada que le tocaron la pierna, sino que lo empujaron. It was just a push, but he seems to be limping a little bit.
I think he was trying to get that blue card.
I think he's trying to get that blue card. You're right.
There's finally a little bit of sustained pressure there by the Risers, but And you might say that, well, they didn't really sustain that pressure, but that's been the most pressure that they've had. I'm really a big fan, Norman, of Paris Martins. I've been saying his name all night, but as we see him right here on the near side, let's talk about what's going on here on this play. Oh, Broche was close to breaking free in the middle of the field. Broche, near side, couldn't get his foot on that pass. Now he has it at his feet again. Now Calabrese wins the ball. He just dumps it. And there is one of the stars of tonight's game, Gonzalez. Now we have a quick stop. But as I was saying, Paris Martins reminds me of a Ian Bennett type player. If he can just build, once again, he's a young guy. He needs to build up some muscle, get a little bit bigger. But he's a guy that could, in this league, especially in the MASL, I would be scouting him, trying to find a way to get him on my team. And he could maybe be a piece of this Mustangs team in the future. He's one guy I'd like to see in the red.
You never know. He's a very, as I would say, an elegant player. I like watching him run. I like watching him touch the ball. Un jugador bastante elegante que sabe tocar el balón muy bien. Disparo. Ahí no hubo nada. Todavía presiona Muskegon, busca el segundo gol. Flores!
Jesus with a huge save right there. And here comes Gonzalez. Gonzalez coming down the near side. Can he beat Calabrese? He does, and a good save by Bergsman.
Buena intervención del arquero de Muskegon.
Good save by Bergsma. Looking for too many men on the field were the Mustangs. Looked like the Risers. It was a close call, but I think a good no call, though. A good no call.
Muskegon was finding it difficult to move the ball up the field. We've had 3 whistles, all 3 of them against the Mustangs. This is pretty much do or die for Muskegon.
They need a couple goals here before the end of this quarter. No question about it.
Pase largo, extremo izquierdo.
Near side on Gonzalez here. He's trying to work hard. And here comes a counter. Veal. And we have a blue card coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did they just call it too many men? So Norman, we just got a too many men blue card. I counted 5 guys on the field. I counted 5. Yeah, that I'm not sure what was going on there. Maybe that was a kind of a makeup call from earlier, but I'm not really sure what happened there on a too many men. I personally didn't see it.
Playtime Soccer helps provide our team with the very best state-of-the-art soccer equipment. Playtime Soccer also helps us look and stylish apparel.
I did not see a too many men on the field, but the indication was too many men from the ref because he was counting the players on the Mustang or on the Grand Sports Arena field, and he counted 5 and I counted 5. But it is what it is. The call has been made and you can't be mad about it. You move on.
Let's not forget
So now that we have a timeout on the field, if you have just joined us right now, the score is 7-1. Your Mustangs lead with 7:47 to go in the third quarter. One more thing before we get started in this gameplay, the Mustangs have a huge announcement with Ollin Technology. coming up later on in this upcoming week. So please be sure to follow up on that news, because I've been told it's huge, but I don't even know. I don't even know. I want to break some news, but I can't because it's that big of news. Here's a play by Collins. Collins just playing a little back and forth game. Collins, we haven't really gotten he has the captain armband, but he hasn't really been taking any type of big risk or big shots that I thought he would. I'd like to see what he can bring to the field, because I feel like he's got a rocket of a right leg. I could be wrong. And there's a nice shot by Zach Grantham, but a beautiful save by Jesus Flores. The ball bounces. That's one of the things here in the Grand Sports Arena you have to be careful for. It's a very, the turf here is very cushioned, and the ball just really, it bounces like a bouncy ball. Muskegon trying to get something going here. They have one goal tonight against the Mustangs. And here is Ephraim Beard winning this ball, coming up forward now. And Collins wins it on the slide tackle.
Looks like Muskegon's trying to start something here.
Grantham is getting a little more playing time out here too. He had a nice opportunity on the near side just before, and now Camarena taking on Collins. Gets around Collins, now Grantham coming across, trying to cut it off. There's a shot and a goal! Francisco Gonzalez finding the back of the net for the Mustangs, extending the lead to 8-2 Mustangs. That's a short-handed goal there by the Mustangs. With 6:33 to go, 8-1 Mustangs. And we're getting the penalty killers out there. Yeah, they need one more. And there you go. Francisco gets back out on the field after a little bit of confusion on who was going to start the 4-on-4 there. Collins now with the ball at his feet, trying to get to Calabrese. Calabrese steps over it, trying to find another player behind him, but the only players behind him were Mustang players. Ephraim now playing it over to Flores. Now Camarena. He's going to try to find Centeno. Centeno back to Camarena. And easy save by Bergsma. He must be happy that he finally has an easy save to make. Calabrese looks, will he take a shot? No, he won't. He plays it down. That looked like Dinsmore there. That was trying to get something going. And coming out of the box, we have a whistle. A blue card whistle. Too many men, I guess, again.
Who was that against?
I believe against, I think it was too many men. Norman, while we have a break in action, correct me if I'm wrong. You're Costa Rican, correct?
Correct.
You are my enemy. You are my enemy.
Oh, we're playing.
We are playing each other in the World Cup in Russia.
That's going to be the first game for us, right?
That is. So on that day, I believe it's July 22nd or something like that, I am not going to be your friend. I am not your friend at all. So now that it was in my mind all day, and I was just waiting to bring it up, and now that we have a stoppage in play, it's pretty exciting now that we have something to look forward to in the outdoor game of soccer that our two nations will be playing against each other, which is going to be fun. And everyone knows that first game in the World Cup is probably the most important game, because you start off with 3 points right away and you're already ahead of the group.
So, and I think this is the first time that we're ever going to that we played each other.
I believe so. I believe so. I'd have to look back on that, but I think it is the first ever matchup. So, two soccer-rich history countries, that's for sure. I mean, Serbia was Yugoslavia at once, so they've had different versions of their team. Costa Rica, obviously. You know, I've been trying to get a read on them. I know Bravo, I believe, is the goalie. Is it Bravo?
Taylor Navas.
Taylor Navas is the goalie.
Real Madrid right now.
Right, exactly. Navas. I can't believe I forgot about him, but he's that big star right there that I'm just hoping that the forwards of Serbia and the midfielders of Serbia will be. He's a wall. What can I say? He's a brick wall. I mean, can anything get past that guy? I don't know.
Yeah. And the thing is that the team can't rely on. I mean, he's solid, but you know, we did pretty well 4 years ago, and we can't really rely on the veterans as much as we did back then because, you know, it's been 4 years, they've been injured. You know, there's also a crop of new players, so we'll see. But like I said, to qualify into the World Cup is a whole different animal than being in the World Cup.
Exactly.
Look at what happened to Spain last 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, that was a tobacco right there. And look at Italy now too. They didn't even qualify.
Exactly.
We'll have to pick it up though. We could talk all day about the World Cup, but we can also talk about this game all day too, especially on the Mustangs side. It's been energetic. The fans have been in it all game, and the Mustangs look really good. Here come the Risers. Collins playing it, tried to play it down low, and really Guerrero was right there to tap it in, but the quickness of the defense of the Mustangs sniffed that one out. There's Francisco Gonzalez with another quick shot.
Fácil. El equipo contrario todavía trata de hacer magia aquí, pero no puede. Muskegon Risers solo ha podido anotar un gol y quieren ver qué es lo que pueden hacer en estos últimos minutos del último periodo.
Here comes Gonzalez trying to get around Grantham. Couldn't. Grantham with a nice little cutoff there of Francisco Gonzalez. Good defensive play. Now Grantham making his way down the field. Two youngsters right here now. Whoa, a bicycle kick that came up empty.
We haven't seen that in a while, have we?
No, that's rare to see in the indoor game. I think Everton was one of those guys that a former Mustang player that would try to do that. Grantham jumping into the play. Zach Grantham is another one of those guys I would say as a Mustang fan, I've actually appreciated his game. Mustang fan and announcer, it's another guy I would put on my list. He's been moving all around the field, and there's a little hip check, no call.
Yeah, I thought that was a little rough, but we had no referee did not signal anything.
But that's another great thing about the indoor game is that physical play right there. In the outdoor game, that's called 10 times out of 10 times. Here it could be 60-70% of the time that's going to get called. Now Gonzalez coming up. Tadeo Gonzalez. He's had himself a game. We're running down here with 3:20 to go in the third quarter. Now the Mustangs, now we're seeing what the Mustangs are trying to do is just let this clock run, bleed the clock. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. When you start getting a big lead, these teams, not saying that's dirty shots or anything, but they get a little more physical. You want to get out of this game with a healthy roster, no injuries going into the week, and a nice week of resting up the bodies again for the next game. That's what I think Coach Gamboa's goal right now is in his mind, is just bleed that clock and keep possession.
Keep it ticking, you know.
Jesus Flores with the shot. Coming all the way to the opponent's yellow line. Rebound is bouncing all over the place.
I think Flores tried to sneak one in there. I think he wanted to get a goal tonight.
He wants to get a part of this. He's watching his guys have a great game tonight, and he wants to be a part of it. I don't blame him.
Sí, Flores, disparo de Flores, que estuvo arriba del marco, y obviamente Flores es uno de esos arqueros que le gusta salirse y tomó un zapatazo bastante fuerte. Entra Ephraim Beard.
We have a restart now at the top
También
of the arc.
entra Roche. This could be a very dangerous play for the Risers. 3 men on the... 3 hombres en la pared. El que va a tomar el tiro es el negro Sandoval. Tira. Muy fuerte.
I don't blame Negro trying to take a shot there, seeing what he can get.
Yep, he's got 1 goal so far this game and ha tenido un buen partido.
This is a good opportunity for the Risers. Great save by Jesus Flores as he stops Matt Schmidt.
Increíble la parada de
Cheeky
Flores.
little move there
Un
by
zapatazo que
Sandoval.
Flores estuvo puro frente. Negro Sandoval con el balón. Se le escapa 2. Lo frena el tercero.
Ball sent down the field to Beal. Roche trying to get out there and beat Bregsma. Couldn't. Now another opportunity for Beal. Getting it down to Schmidt. Schmidt gets taken down, no call, but that's a hard one to sell if you're Schmidt. Schmidt is trying to sell a foul there, but the smaller Gonzalez was on him. I don't think Gonzalez is going to be able to take down Nate Schmidt. Even with 2 hands behind Nate Schmidt's back, I think it'd be a fairly hard challenge physically for Gonzalez to bring him down. And I think the ref realized that too.
Flores out front again.
Here's an opportunity, a wide open net, and that's the 2nd goal for the Risers. And wow, bold move by Matt Schmidt to go to the cheering section and taunt him a little bit. Matt Schmidt with that goal, bringing the score to 8-2 with 45 seconds left. Matt Schmidt scores an empty net goal, goes to the cheering section of the Mustangs. And I think I don't know what he was doing, if he was trying to pump him up or what he was doing, but I don't know if that was a great move to do right now in an 8-2 game. But hey, more power to you, Matt. Jesus Flores with Camarena. Calabrese now wins the ball. This Calabrese here too. Franco Calabrese has had a pretty good game, but every time he takes the ball away from a Mustang player, he coughs it right back up. There are some bright players on this Risers team. They just can't seem to put it all together.
Wonderful game. 16 goals total in 2 home games.
That's
impressive.
And counting, probably.
And counting.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. The Mustangs lead 8-2 against the Muskegon Risers. Now this is an opportunity for the Risers once again. So they have 15 minutes now. They're down 8-2, 6 goals. We've seen it happen in an indoor soccer game where a team has come back. How many times have we seen it? Not many, but it's been there. It's something that you can see. You can see a lead evaporate in indoor soccer like it's nothing. So the Mustangs just got to keep playing a good game here. Sound, fundamental game. Don't worry about anything else. Think it's 0-0 if it's the Mustangs going into this last quarter, because you want that gratification of a full game right there. A full 60 minutes is what you're looking for here if you're the Mustangs, and so far they've given a full 60 minutes. So I should say not 60, 45 if my math is correct. Good 45 minutes. Now close it out if you're the Mustangs. If you're Muskegon, you know, like I was saying, that's who I started with. You're down 6 goals. Has it happened? Yes, you can do it. But right now, if I'm the coach, I'm selling positives. I'm trying to tell my team we need to find a way to get some positive plays, positive possession, something we can take into our next game to be successful. That's what I'm looking for from Muskegon right now. I would expect the first 5 to 7 minutes a full-out onslaught if they can get it. Shot after shot after shot, high-volume shot percentage here for Muskegon is what I'm looking for, definitely. And as I look on the field right now, the 3 guys walking out to the field together are 3 guys that I think can have a great future in this game. Paris Martins, I don't know what else I have to say about the guy except for I love him. I think he could be a star in this league. Zach Grantham has had himself a decent game. He's put himself in positions on the field to be successful. The execution will come, but that soccer IQ in the indoor game, he has it. I've seen it. I've seen hundreds of indoor soccer games, literally hundreds. I think I would know what would make a good indoor soccer player, and Zach Grantham has that. And obviously number 6, Francisco Calabrese. We've said his name a lot tonight. He's been all over the field. Here's a guy that once again has a good soccer IQ. I would like to see him shoot the ball a little bit more when he has an opportunity, when he's open. He's had a couple opportunities and passed them off. So he's good at that, and he's good at taking the ball away, but then he turns it over right away, which is something that he's got to learn to take control of. Here comes Grantham now. He takes a shot with his right foot, not trusting his left foot. That's something that you can develop, though. His left foot will... And, sorry, I stopped mid-thought because I don't see Jesus Flores. Jesus Flores is out of the game, and Jesus Resendez is in the game now for the Mustangs. We'll have to see if we can get some confirmation on what happened. If it's just an 8-2 lead, they feel confident enough that Jesus Flores doesn't have to be in the game, or if it's an injury to Jesus Flores, we do not know at this moment. Martin takes a shot, and wow, this kid is the full package. He just hit the post, and that shot was nasty. I had a clear view of that shot, and Norman, I'm telling you, I can't say enough about Martins. This kid is unbelievable, and he has the right foot to go with it. That shot was knuckling for 15 feet. You didn't know where it was going to end. It was crazy. This guy, a crazy talented kid.
Like I said, he's got a great foot, and like you mentioned earlier before, if he could put on a few more pounds.
In a good way, though, a strong, not just to put on pounds, just to put on pounds, but more muscle, he would be solid. I mean, he already is solid. Just think of how much better he would be if he got stronger.
Ahora tenemos nuevo arquero, José Reséndiz, que vino a reemplazar a el hombre araña, señor Flores. Continúa el negro Sandoval buscando la pelota, moviéndose. Reséndiz busca al hombre Sandoval, le pasan el balón al Sandoval, va en el centro, costado izquierdo, Sandoval tratando de armar una jugada, Chris Beard, gol, Chicago Mustang, Ephraim Beard.
Getting the goal for the Mustangs, and there it is again. Ephraim Beard on the near side, jumping up on the forward spot right there. Instead of the normal defensive position, he is hanging out in the backfield. He's right there all alone, and Ephraim Beard putting it in. I know last year Ephraim Beard had opportunities to score a few goals in big moments of games, and the finishing just was not there. This year, completely different story, completely different player. And that's a true veteran right there, honing in on the skills that he needs to hone in on, and finishing and scoring goals was one of those things that he needed to hone in on, and you could tell he put a lot of work in the offseason on that. There's a shot that goes wide. It's 9-2, by the way. I should have told you that after the goal. My bad. But 9-2, your Mustangs lead. They have that 7-goal advantage back on their side. Now Rodriguez playing with Ibira. Ibira and Rodriguez trying to play a 1-2 game. Can't. And Centeno playing it into the corner, finding Gonzalez. Tadeo Gonzalez. Back to Pierre Ibira. Resendez with Ibira again. Playing again a back and forth game. Mustangs not looking too much to move forward. They have a lot of room to keep the ball at the feet of Resendez if they want to. There's no rush. Muskegon not bringing any pressure. Rodriguez now brings the pressure, and here comes Willie. Willie Guerrero takes a shot and he scores a good goal by the Risers. That was a nice play by Rodriguez to jump it. They were kind of putting him to sleep, hypnotizing him, and then Rodriguez said, you know what, enough of this. Comes up, jumps up on the play, makes a nice pass to Willie Guerrero, and Willie Guerrero goes 5-hole on Resendez. That's something the Risers are probably thinking, why didn't we have that going early in our game? But that's a positive. That's one of those positives that you look for if you're the Risers. Ball stays in play. Grantham gets it, and Ephraim takes a huge run there at Grantham. Bergsma playing it down to, it looks like Schmidt. I thought Schmidt was injured there for a second. He went into the boards very hard with his leg going in there first. I heard a big scream coming out from the far side boards. Good to see him back and up, though, no injury. We don't want to see that ever on the field. That's just not something we come here to watch the games for, obviously. Now the Mustangs, Gonzalez coming back up. Set Centeno now with Beard. Beard, now a quick line change by Beard with Camarena. Camarena not getting too much time tonight, just probably trying to save him. Nice defensive play, and here come the Risers again. Loss with a shot, oh, and he just missed. That would have been a huge goal if he could have got it in. Trouble still in the Mustang zone, but that's what I'm talking about. You're looking for a big 5-minute push right there by the Risers. They got 1 goal out of that 5-minute push. They could have got 2. It would have been a 9-4 game. 5-goal deficit with 10 minutes to go, but still we're looking at a 6-goal deficit for the Risers. Lost with a great defensive play as he took down Rodriguez in a very clean play. Great play, actually. Resendez. Mustangs kicking the ball back and forth, passing back and forth. We're under 10 minutes to go here in the Grand Sports Arena. Thanks for joining us tonight. There's Martins laying it off to Beal. Beal. Almeida takes a turn, takes a shot, tries to curve it in, far post, can't. Martins has the ball at his feet, gives it to Collins. Collins taking a shot from way, way too far away. And now here comes Negro, and Negro shoots, and he scores! Negro, send the ball! Huge goal. 10-3, your Mustangs lead with 9:09 to go. And this one is all but over. You can say it now, folks. 9 minutes left in the game, but the Mustangs are looking poised to win this game to move to 2-1 on the season. Once again, I'm going to keep saying it from here on out. If you're the Risers, you're looking for positive plays. What can you build on? There's some plays that we've seen here in the fourth quarter that they can build on. Rodriguez now. Eric Rodriguez, who's been having a good game. Had a couple goals. And there is another goal for the Mustangs. And it looks like Rodriguez is going to get credit for the goal as it was deflected off one of the Muskegon Risers players. That's now 11-3, and for sure any shot of the Risers coming back in this game is creeping even closer to 0, if not already there. Ball sent down again. Mustangs trying to defend there, but Calabrese got a foot on it and almost squeezed through Remendez's legs. Broche. Camarena. Back to Resendez. Resendez at the yellow line. Dumped down, no one there for the Mustangs. Clock still running. We've hit 8 minutes here in the Grand Sports Arena. Fans have been witnessing a treat tonight. Well worth the price of admission, and then some. And that's what the Mustangs provide. They provide excitement. They provide a family atmosphere. And the Risers, as Martins takes a shot and a good save by Resendez. Resendez playing it downfield. But once again, position going to the Risers. Calabrese down to Beal. Beal trying to win the ball back, can't. And once again, here comes Ibira. That's Ryan Ibira. DJ Albert having a nice game tonight as well. Broche, he's had a few goals tonight. There's an assist that you can add to Broche's stat line as Pierre Ibira puts another one in the back of the net, and the Chicago flags are flying tonight with 7:04 to go. The Mustangs increase their lead to 10 as it's going to be 13-3 once the scoreboard updates here. Pierre Ibira having himself, I mean, go down the roster here for the Mustangs. Everyone's had a great game tonight. Honestly, you cannot say. I don't even know. What do you show in the tape during the week to the players? It's hard to find something that they've done wrong, I guess. I mean, a couple errant passes here and there have given the Risers a few odd man rushes. I guess that's something Coach Gamboa can go back and look at, but so far I've really enjoyed what I've seen from the Mustangs in tonight's matchup against the Risers. We'd like to thank everyone that's been watching this game tonight from wherever you've been. We've had people from Europe check in. We've had people from North America, obviously South America, checking in. So it's been great. We would like to thank the Muskegon Risers fans that have been watching us tonight. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Although the scoreboard may, I thought it was supposed to be 13-3, but we're going to stay with 12-3. But believe me when I say this, I've seen a lot of indoor soccer in my day. and you guys have a couple of players that can take the next, if they can take the next step and progress the way I see them in my eyes, how they can progress. And I've said their names. It's Paris Martins, it's Francisco Calabrese, and Zach Grantham that can be pillars of a foundation to something even bigger than MASL2. It's a treat to see, and even if they end up, you know, going later on in the season in a deal to an MASL team, follow these guys and see where they go, because it's a treat to watch. So once again, thank you guys in Muskegon taking the time out of your busy Saturday night to watch this matchup between the Mustangs and the Risers. It's been a pleasure. Rodriguez now here at the yellow line, playing with Centeno. Centeno keeps looking for an option. He's just going to play it easy back to Ephraim Beard. Oh, and I will add Willie Guerrero, Risers fans out there. Willie Guerrero is another player who's super, super young. And here comes Rodriguez. Rodriguez looking for our post, and it doesn't get easier than that. No Centeno now making the lead a 10-goal lead, as it's 13-3 for the Mustangs with 5:34 to go. No Centeno with the goal right there for the Mustangs. Number 6, or get 3 or 4 guys here that you really have to be proud to feel good with the effort they put out here tonight. And this is, I remember coming to this arena here in Schaumburg, Illinois, and seeing Mustang teams of old put up 10 goals and trying to get that 10-goal lead or that 10-goal win. And the Mustangs right now have that 10-goal lead. They want to achieve that double-digit win. That used to be a goal of the Mustangs back in the day when they would play in the PASL here. Their goal was to win by double digits, and they've done it countless times in this arena. And this is, for me, getting back into Mustang soccer, missing the first game and now being back here in the rebuild. It only seems fitting that I would first game back as a 10-goal lead and hopefully a 10-goal win, because it would bring good memories for not only the fans, but the front office, coaches, and for me, myself, actually, as well. And the forecheck here is paying off for the Mustangs. Could there be another goal? Oh! Broche just barely missing, and now we have a blue card. As our vantage point here, we can't see what happened there. So we know a player went down. We don't know which 2 players went down or who's going in the box. It's a boarding call, that's for sure. And we got an extra card as Almedia. Almedia might be getting a card here. That's more than a blue card. Almedia's got to be careful, or also he might not see the rest of the 3 minutes and 20 seconds of this game.
Look for us on Snapchat. We are Mustangs. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. Look for us, Chicago Mustangs.
Almedia not happy about the calls here tonight, a little bit frustrated. Like I said, the ref was being very patient with him, letting his frustration kind of boil over. And I got to tip my hat off to the ref there, not showing him a yellow or a red card. There's no need to do that. They're down 10 goals. Why? Why would you want to show that red card? Just let him voice his frustration with the ref, which the ref did perfectly fine. And I think that was a good play by the ref. So tonight you can say what you will about the referees. If you're a Mustang fan, you're probably thinking, hey, they've done a fine job tonight. If you're a Muskegon fan, And another big thing is we haven't had as the game's going on. I know I'm rambling about the referees, but we confusion that has been extended. There's been times that we've seen referees oh geez, that's not a good foul. There's another blue card. We have not seen confusion on calls or where the ball should be placed after or before restarts, which has been something that I've been happily frustrated playing on the road, being down 10. Let the guys voice their frustration, you know. I mean, let it boil over a little bit, and it's gonna, you know it's gonna be all right. Oh. 1 minute and 32 seconds left in this game. The Mustangs are all set for the victory lap that they'll probably do at the end of this game. Almidia's out there again after his penalty, you know, after the Mustangs scored their power play goal. He's back out there giving it all he can. Mustangs trying to go again in Sandoval with a shot that gets deflected. It's going to be a restart in the corner for the Mustangs. 1-1-1 across the board, 1-11 in this Mustang game, where they see their lead, 11-goal lead, probably going to stand here. They're looking for more, actually. They might be able to score one more by the time this game's over. There's a shot by Gonzalez, there's a shot pass. Now the ball's sent down. It's a three-liner. And it's going to be a restart for the Mustangs at the yellow line. 1:01. Now we're definitely under a minute left till they can sing "We Are the Champs," or not the champs. We are the winners. Still a long way to go for the Mustangs. Beat the Muskegon Risers 14-3. Fans are going wild. It's been a great night here in Chicago. Thanks for joining us as your Mustangs win 14-3. For everyone joining us tonight, we appreciate it. Before we sign off, we'd like to tell you that there is a huge, big announcement from Ollin Technology and the Chicago Mustangs coming up later on in the week. Be sure to stick around and follow the Mustangs for that information. Who knows what it may be? I don't even know. It's speculation at this point, but it's going to be huge. That's all I've been told. Your Chicago Mustangs, once again, win 14-3. Be sure to come out to the next game on Saturday, January 6th, the 7 o'clock p.m. start between the Chicago Mustangs and Cincinnati Wave. Before we sign off, Norman, what'd you think?
Well, it's been a great game. 2 great home games in a row. The fans are excited, and I can't wait to be back in this arena and see what the Mustangs have in store for us.
Sign it off in Spanish. I'll sign it off in English, and we'll call it a night.
Okay, queremos agradecer al público por haber sintonizado en esta noche. Ha sido un partidazo de parte del Chicago Mustangs que ganó 14-3. Aquí los esperamos el 6 de enero, el sábado a la misma hora, y aquí va a haber un anuncio bastante grande, así es que los esperamos. Un abrazo a todos, feliz Navidad, los queremos mucho. Muchas gracias, y aquí está Nick.
Once again, thank you for tuning in tonight. Your Mustangs here in the Grand Sports Arena have won. We'll see you on Saturday, January 6th. Have a good night, and Merry Christmas.